Welcome back to our channel where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. We are excited to share the following news. 1 Min Ago. Catherine's secret video exposed. We are done with Meghan. A video footage that emerged online late on November 25, 2025 has caused a significant upheaval within the British monarchy and sparked a fervent worldwide media frenzy. The video, seemingly derived from a private conference, features Catherine, the Princess of Wales, making definitive remarks regarding Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, including the claim that Meghan has formally lost her royal title. The source of the leak is currently unidentified and under investigation. However, the recording offers an unparalleled, transparent insight into the ongoing and widely reported conflicts within the House of Windsor. The tape, about 1 minute long, disseminated swiftly throughout social media platforms and was enhanced by hot hashtags like Der Royal Leak and Catherine Statement. Within hours, it garnered millions of views and became the subject of rigorous discussion, analysis, and meticulous examination by journalists, pundits, and experts in legal and digital security. The published segment has the Princess of Wales speaking directly to the camera, exhibiting a collected demeanor and a firm tone. This delivery signifies a distinct shift from the royal family's long-standing never complain, never explain policy regarding internal conflicts and media scandals. The rapidity of transmission highlighted the new reality that a private remark recorded on a consumer gadget or a conference stream may swiftly transform into a public record and influential news across several jurisdictions. Her statements in the video are unambiguous and succinct. Meghan has officially forfeited her royal title. I sincerely hope she will cease to reference the royal family for publicity. We are done with this. I request that she refrain from mentioning me. My children must no longer be entangled in her narratives. These sentences encapsulate a blend of institutional and personal grievances, merging a claim regarding formal status, a request to terminate public references, a proclamation of finality, and a plea to shield her children from external narratives. Each sentence functions on several levels: legal, symbolic, diplomatic, and family. Together, they serve as both an administrative assertion and a moral border delineation exercise. The leak promptly elicited practical and constitutional inquiries about the present status of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's titles, the context of the recorded private encounter, and the security of the royal family's digital communications. Buckingham Palace released a succinct statement regarding a breach of privacy and affirmed that a comprehensive investigation into the incident is in progress. At the time of reporting, representatives for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex refrained from commenting on the video's content or the allegations presented therein. The quiet from the Sussex camp aligns with previous trends of little quick reaction to palace events, despite their media agents traditionally asserting their entitlement to reply via their own channels. This episode occurs at a difficult time for the monarchy. King Charles III has been addressing persistent health issues necessitating discretion and meticulous delegation of responsibilities. The Princess of Wales disclosed a cancer diagnosis in March 2024, and following a treatment regimen that included abdominal surgery and prophylactic chemotherapy, publicly affirmed the efficacy of her treatment later in 2024. The family's recent emphasis has been on stability and continuity, two cornerstones of several constitutional monarchy throughout periods of personal or institutional turmoil, but the leak has abruptly reignited a contentious chapter. It highlights the profound divide between the senior members of the royal family, particularly the Prince and Princess of Wales, and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, a conflict that has garnered global attention for years and consistently challenged the institution's ability to manage internal disputes. The captured clip is notable for its simplicity, a head-and-shoulders perspective of the Princess of Wales set against the backdrop of a video conferencing program interface. The environment seems to be a brightly illuminated private office or study possibly located in a royal house like Kensington Palace or Adelaide Cottage based on the decor and the recognizable surrounds from previous public appearances, and the audio quality indicates the usage of a professional-grade microphone. The segment has no additional voices or interruptions, and the single camera perspective enhances the sense of a private personal communication rather than a formal public presentation. The disparity between a private forum and public broadcast highlights the significant breach represented by this leak, an occurrence meant for a limited audience transforming into a worldwide event within minutes. Analysis of recorded statements reveals several layers of relevance, each addressing past disagreements. The most incendiary claim is that Meghan has now formally surrendered her royal rank. After retiring from significant royal duties in 2020, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex kept their titles but stopped using His/Her Royal Highness. The usage and legal status of such titles have been the subject of heated UK commentary since that verdict from legal to political views. In 2023 and 2024, many private members' bills in Parliament sought to cancel or restrict the couple's titles to prevent economic exploitation in private businesses. These proposals showed political and public support for stricter laws. The princess's use of officially in her proclamation signifies that the palace has taken an official action or administrative step that may not have been publicly acknowledged. Anonymous sources have told royal protocol experts that the king's senior advisors and the Prince of Wales may have discreetly issued a directive or letters patent limiting the ducal title to non-charitable or commercial purposes. The monarch issues letters patent to create, alter, or manage rights and titles. They have conferred peerages, established official offices, and rarely governed family styles and titles. In this situation, such a measure would not necessarily revoke the ducal title, but it may limit its usage. This step would formalize boundaries and be the most definite institutional response to the ongoing situation. Legal academics note that prerogative powers, constitutional principles, and crown authority techniques make a decision difficult. Letters. The sovereign may grant patents, although legal experts note that unilateral acts that affect other parties' rights and reputations are limited. A leak of a covert or subtle administrative change raises questions about openness and equality, particularly if it affects an individual's ability to trade using honorifics that define their public identity. However, parliamentary solutions need discourse voting and constitutional principles that assign distinct roles to the Crown ministries and legislature. I hope she stops calling the royal family for attention. This is over. Reflect institutional and communicative exhaustion. The Sussexes have created a multi-part Netflix documentary series, an Apple TV Plus production, a significant podcast, and Prince Harry's international best-selling book Spare since moving to California. Proponents say the couple is reclaiming their tale and exercising their free speech. Critics and some royals perceive these endeavors as a long-running campaign that sometimes exploits and mocks the institution the authors abandoned. The plural, "We are done with this," supposedly representing the working royal family, signals a collective decision to terminate public engagement with the Sussexes' media claims and storylines. Modern monarchy must balance the constraints of a ceremonial duty with the freedoms and market-driven motives of media culture. No longer in office, royal family members may work, speak, and trade. The Crown and its officials worry about diminishing constitutional emblems and commodifying royal honors. Opponents say a former royal using a ducal title in public commerce blurs the historically crucial boundary between private business and official confirmation. The final phrase's personal and parental plea is crucial. "Please do not mention me. My kids should not be involved in her stories." This plea focuses on family protection rather than institutional policy. It highlights the Princess of Wales's role as a mother safeguarding her 3 young children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. For privacy reasons, reports imply that the Waleses have been more worried about unintentional or anecdotal mentions to their children in uncontrolled settings. This appeal shows that the princess prioritizes motherhood above institutional or diplomatic issues. Her public activities have always focused on early childhood development, parental support, and safe kid environments. In the film, body language specialists have observed her constant look and collected manner, which they believe indicates strong conviction and unshakable resolve, rather than an emotional outburst. Parental petitions resonate in public debate because they elicit empathy, the idea that children, particularly those in the spotlight, but not public officials, require protection from adult difficulties. Modern media fights between protection and commercial revelation of spectacular private life. Viewers demand personal storytelling. The dispute has shaped royal family discourse in recent years and made title usage difficult. The leaked video's beliefs are the result of nearly a decade of intricate human relationships, substantial media scrutiny, and fundamentally different ideologies about monarchy in modern society. Popular optimism led to the Cambridges, now Waleses, and Sussexes joining forces. In 2017, media coverage and public discourse initially welcomed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Prince William and Kate Middleton as a unified progressive entity within the monarchy known as the Fab Four that could modernize a venerable institution. Their debut appearance at the Royal Foundation Forum in early 2018 appeared to confirm that promise. Instances that become iconic of public confrontations quickly revealed tensions. The first public disagreement between Meghan and Catherine regarding bridesmaid gowns occurred before the 2018 royal wedding. Early stories stated Meghan made Catherine cry, but Meghan told Oprah Winfrey in 2021 that the reverse occurred. That incident typified a larger pattern of misunderstanding, cultural misperception, and contradictory royal norms and ceremonies. Its symbolic meaning was as a reflection of opposing personalities and the issues royals endure. The two duchesses contributed distinct professional backgrounds and approaches to their positions. Meghan's methodology was influenced by her profession in entertainment and activism, characterized by direct communication, personal branding, and swift public interaction. In contrast, Catherine had spent over 10 years on the fringes of royal life before, to her marriage, developing a more gradual and tradition-oriented approach to public responsibilities and image maintenance. Although such distinctions are not intrinsically problematic, they generated tension when subjected to the rigorous and relentless scrutiny of tabloid and social media environments. The constant flow of tales' reliance on anonymous sources and the hostility of political online groups escalated minor disputes into enduring narratives of conflict. The creation of an independent home for the Sussexes in 2019, coupled with their declaration in January 2020 of their intention to withdraw as senior working royals, formalized the separation. The pair identified media intrusion, inadequate institutional assistance, and the pursuit of financial autonomy as the main reasons for their choice. The subsequent events, public interviews, legal proceedings against tabloids, and a succession of commercial media initiatives exacerbated the division. The 2021 Oprah interview, during which Meghan presented claims of racially hostile remarks and said that her mental health problems were not treated by the school, was a pivotal occasion. The palace's official response at the time was succinct, consisting just of the statement, "Recollections may differ," highlighting a hesitance to participate in public controversy. Subsequent endeavors, such as the Sussexes' Netflix series and Prince Harry's book Spare, further elucidated their viewpoint on the connection, the human ramifications of royal existence, and the couple's feeling of grievance. During such incidents, Buckingham Palace mostly adopted a stance of official reticence, favoring institutional quiet above public rebuttal. The released film indicates that private sentiments inside the palace contradicted the apparent facade of tranquility. The personal challenges faced by the Waleses certainly heightened their feelings of vulnerability and their need for security. Catherine's health crisis in 2024, necessitating surgery and chemotherapy, recalibrated the couple's and the institution's priorities. family privacy, continuity of care, and the protection of children became essential. In such scenario, tolerance for external provocations, seen as threats to children's welfare or the family's privacy, may have decreased. The reassessment of priorities is both personal and institutional. When the heir apparent's family emphasizes stability and continuity, it modifies the expectations about acceptable public conduct from previous working royals. Meghan's post-royal professional path has been essential to the discourse. Residing in Montecito, California, she has engaged in a varied array of endeavors as a producer, philanthropist, and entrepreneur. In collaboration with Prince Harry, she co-established Archewell, an organization that includes both a philanthropic foundation and a profit-generating media production company. Their multi-year agreement with Netflix has yielded several initiatives, and by 2025, Meghan had expanded her public engagements to include lifestyle-oriented businesses, including a line of artisanal jams and a proposed culinary program for a streaming service. These economic ventures, particularly those using a name or title associated with a royal identity, have proved contentious. Critics argue that use a ducal title in business branding is the monetization of an accolade granted by the crown. Advocates assert that she has the right to use the name linked to her identity, contending that most of the criticism is excessive and in some aspects related to cultural or media prejudice. A 2025 profile cited a source affiliated with the Duchess, underscoring her assertion that no one has the right to revoke my Duchess title. It was a gift and constitutes a part of my narrative and my family's identity. This sentiment, which illustrates a resolve to preserve a facet of personal identity linked to a pivotal life event, elucidates why the Princess of Wales's announcement or assertion represents a direct challenge. If the institution now explicitly restricts the title's use, it puts the Duchess in a defensive stance about the branding and identification aspects of her commercial and humanitarian endeavors. The disagreement not only has immediate financial ramifications, but also presents complex intellectual property issues, including trademarks, domain names, and the economic significance of a name that is both personal and historically entrenched in the peerage system. UK and US trademark and passing off actions rest on customer misunderstanding and goodwill, say lawyers. Critics say a royal title in marketing might be seen as an endorsement or a special connection to the crown. Proponents will argue that personal names and historical titles are different from commercial trademarks and that restricting their usage raises free speech and identity issues. Due to the Sussex's transatlantic presence and digital commerce's worldwide nature, trademark registration and domain name enforcement methods may lead to lengthy litigation in numerous nations. Catherine has consistently developed a stable and intentful public role. Born into a middle-class family that became wealthy, she has used public management and focused campaigning to become a famous public figure and likely future queen consort. Since marrying Prince William in 2011, Kate has expanded her philanthropy, concentrating on child welfare and early childhood development. Her 2021 Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood and 2023 public campaign, Shaping Us, demonstrate her ongoing strategy of evidence-based campaigning to change government policy and public perceptions of the first 5 years of life. Her tenacity throughout the 2024 health crisis increased sympathy and solidified her reputation as caring and determined. She carefully returned to public appearances after months of therapy, and her successful treatment in September 2024 gave the country hope. Her subsequent public appearances showed a noticeable increase in concentration and purpose, and her Christmas carol service in December 2024 became a hub for family celebration and philanthropic advocacy. The leaked tape may be a defensive tactic and a proclamation of her public advocacy, child protection as a policy priority, and personal devotion. The video shows an uncommonly open feeling from a person renowned for their restraint. Many supporters believe it protects her family's privacy and the boundaries she sets to protect her children. Others see it as an unusual norm break that will hinder royal contact. The footage shows her priorities and ultimate allegiances. In a world where filtered authenticity may benefit politics, but endanger personal safety, this raises questions about the monarchy's internal culture and if senior royals are becoming more candid, instantaneous and divisive public reaction to the clip. Tabloid media in the UK portrayed the princess as a strong mother and ardent privacy supporter. National broadsheets frequently analyzed the constitutional and institutional consequences and focused on the security lapse that allowed the tape out. Shortly after polling showed that a majority of Britons sympathized with the princess and supported stricter title usage regulations for non-working royals, though the scope and methodology of these polls vary and national opinion is not uniform. Radio and television analysts predicted government involvement or a more detailed palace declaration. Global responses varied and reflected power racism and media representation. Some analysts saw the statement as another example of institutional pressure on Meghan, while others stressed the importance of privacy for all parties. Online groups supporting the Duchess called the reveal a grave privacy infringement and said the palace was trying to discredit her. However, some online organizations backed the Waleses and called for harsher royal title restrictions. Upper-level public conversation about digital communications ethics and susceptibility began with the leak. Cybersecurity experts warned against using external video conferencing services for sensitive family or constitutional matters. An advanced foreign infiltration, an unauthorized participant recording, or a setup error that exposed the meeting stream were among their theories for the breach. When investigating such breaches, digital forensics teams examine IP address logs, device timestamps, and platform security setups to establish whether they were internal or external, accidental or deliberate. As remote communication has become the norm for critical interactions, governments, corporations, and individuals worldwide have faced comparable difficulties. If a participant deliberately filmed and distributed the footage, if a communications staff member improperly managed files, or if a third-party contractor with access accidentally revealed the stream, investigators would also consider the human element. The chain of custody for digital content is important in technical and legal settings because it identifies leakers and potential criminal and civil repercussions. The Metropolitan Police and specialist digital crime teams can handle such investigations, but when they include the royal family or the sovereign's private offices, they become more sensitive and may have constitutional implications. Convicting someone may be difficult. The cloud platform's logs may show who started the recording and from which device or account. End-to-end encryption slows distant access, but does not prohibit authorized participants from making a local copy. Social engineering attacks and phishing continue to compromise high-profile accounts, while insider threats, intentional or not, remain. Criminal investigations for illegal interception or disclosure, civil lawsuits for breach of confidence, and disciplinary action against personnel who violate contracts are legal remedies. The individual who leaked the film or relocated it to servers outside the UK creates jurisdictional issues that need international coordination and perhaps long mutual legal aid processes. Historically, the monarchy has had splits and debates like these. In 1936, King Edward VIII abdicated to marry Wallis Simpson, becoming the Duke of Windsor and living in exile. This shows the institution's intolerance for high-ranking members' personal choices. After her divorce from Prince Charles in the 1990s, Diana, Princess of Wales, gave up the HRH title, sparking debate about its fairness and human rights implications. After divorcing Prince Andrew, Sarah, Duchess of York, lost her HRH title. These examples show how the monarchy still governs styles and titles, while members miss public duties. The global accessibility of media and people's ability to create and share their own narratives via traditional and digital channels distinguish contemporary media. That setting has helped the Sussexes build a strong counter-narrative to the institution's message. These competing storylines threaten the monarchy, which relies on carefully staged public appearances and controlled media releases. Conflicting public opinions from palace narratives and independent memoirs or media material impair the royal family's reputational protection. The The spill might have serious long-term effects. This may prompt a complete review of royal communications security, including digital and interpersonal techniques. A senior royal's public confirmation may speed up Sussex title processes, increasing political push for clarity. This might lead to a Buckingham Palace declaration or legislative changes in 2026 to clarify title use by non-working royals. Any legislative approach would debate prerogative powers crown tools like letters patent and constitutional processes for changing peerage or geographical designation titles. The information also changed popular perceptions of crucial personalities. It depicts the Princess of Wales as publicly steadfast essential for a future queen, while the Duchess of Sussex is protective about using a ducal title in commercial and media work. The recording marks another tumultuous chapter in Prince William and Prince Harry's relationship, likely complicating reconciliation efforts and raising questions about the monarchy's ability to resolve familial conflicts under global scrutiny. Not simply headlines, but lasting changes in trust and institutional credibility will measure the emotional toll on the individuals affected and the practical expenditures suffered by the institution depending on public respect. The movie may spark debates about how democratic nations regulate the public usage of honors and titles, in addition to its reputational and legal effects. Constitutional law and political philosophy scholars will discuss how inherited and awarded statuses affect current civic conceptions. The event may support Republican monarchy critics' concerns that celebrity culture may affect a hereditary institution. It emphasizes the delicate balance needed to maintain institutional integrity while protecting individual liberties according to monarchists. The breach's genesis will affect process cybersecurity, family law, and public trust as investigations continue. In an age of constant media coverage, a private moment of dissatisfaction has become a public sign of the monarchy's transition. The episode illustrates the institutional challenge of reconciling an archaic constitutional framework and a culture of reticence with the immediate demands of 21st century public life, where private statements can be amplified and the line between personal grievance and public interest is constantly blurred. In the next weeks and months, various options exist. A palace statement may confirm or refute the princess's claim concerning the Sussex's titles, along with legal and diplomatic actions to limit ramifications and improve internal communications norms. Alternative options include lengthy media battles and legal action on the leak, which might affect journalistic standards, royal family employment stability, and business deals with external suppliers. Third Parliament may attempt to create statutory guidelines for the use of names and styles in cases of public misunderstanding or commercial exploitation. The event has answered long-standing questions about how the monarchy adapts to celebrity culture commercial markets and a media climate that values immediacy and sensationalism. It has shown the humanity behind such abstractions, exhausted parents trying to protect their children, an institution trying to maintain its integrity, and people exercising agency in powerful and unforgiving public spaces. Governance, privacy, and public regulatory debates may exploit the released film. For historians and constitutional academics, it will be one of a series of events that illustrate private life versus public obligation. The families will face personal and perhaps insurmountable consequences. The narrative shows how the monarchy must balance openness and prudence, functioning as a living symbol of national identity and addressing its officials' personal shortcomings. In an era where a short recording can change public opinion instantly, the monarchy, like other lasting institutions, must adapt its traditions and processes without sacrificing its constitutional function. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and say goodbye for now.